Okay, maybe this is like a little ignorant, but like, why is the James Webb photo so zoomed out, dude? Like, I get it. It's impressive. I saw the um I saw the video where the camera or the telescope itself has to unfold. It's like 6 nanometers thick or something like that. Like it's unbelievable, right? It's an incredible act of science. Could they have just like to go through all that work and then forget to add a zoom function? Just seems negligent. Like you couldn't just pick one of those galaxies and like zoom in on it a little bit and see if maybe there's an alien down there? I don't understand. Like it's impressive to know what the galaxies look like. Like that's really cool. And some of the photos have been beautiful and they've been like amazing. But you couldn't just like zoom in on like one of the planets or something like that and see if they got maybe like some buildings down there or something like, or like a Great Wall of Jupiter. I don't understand. I will admit I'm too stupid to kind of understand um, that. Like I don't really understand how the photo is 4.5 billion years old. Like how did they make a camera that's also a time machine? Is because it's taking a photo of something that's 4.5 billion light years away? Okay, hear me out. Why don't we just move the camera 4.5 billion light years away from Earth and then take a photo of Earth and see what our shit was like 4.5 billion years ago? Then it would be like having a time machine. We could see like what the dinosaurs were doing back then. We'd be like, whoa, dinosaurs. What the hell are they doing? So true. But then there was another. I was reading the Twitter trending topic, which is how I learn all of my information on the Earth, especially nuanced scientific topics. But there was like, hey, this isn't actually the oldest photo that exists of the universe. That NASA actually took a photo of what the universe looked like 330,000 years after the Big Bang. And I'm like, what the hell? How the hell did they do that? Did they take the photo like a billion years ago? I don't understand. Is there like is that the thing with the James Webb telescope? Is it like it has a temporal zoom? Like instead of zooming in or zooming out, it has like a hey, take a photo that's a million years ago. Hey, take a photo that's a billion years ago. It doesn't make any sense to me. That wasn't really a photo, it was just an array of background radiation. What the hell? The farther out you see, the older light is. That's one of those things that sounds true, but I can't really. I'll be honest with you. I think I have a terrestrial brain. I think I'm like relatively okay at understanding the Earth, and I think that if I opened my mind, I could start to understand the vastness of space, but I just choose to keep it closed because it's really scary. Like the photo of the James Webb telescope took, where it was like, hey, our inference based on this photo is that there's billions of galaxies that have trillions of stars, some of which may have star systems, which could have planets, some of which could be similar to ours. I was like, yeah, I don't want to think about that. That's just a lot of the idea that there could be, perhaps hundreds of thousands of Earth-like planets out there that maybe also are taking photos of us with their own James Webb telescope, and we're looking at them. Everybody's a voyeur as they're watching me watch them watch me right now. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking about what I'm gonna have for lunch today instead. It's like the information pokes like a little hole in my ignorance, and then I say, no, 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 patch that up. I don't want to think about that. All I know is that the galaxy is on Orion's belt. What are you having for lunch then? Can I tell you, to be honest, I installed Uber on my phone again because I used it to go to and from the hospital a few times. And then Uber said, hey, here's a free $20 lunch on us. And I've just been preoccupying myself by trying to think of what I'm going to do with that $20 lunch credit. I think I might get a Chipotle burrito bowl today. I'll probably still have to pay for the tip, but that's okay. I can live with that. How did the saga of Little Caesar end? I've been on vacation. Oh, okay. So like if you were on vacation last week, um I had an appointment for July 13th or 14th to go see an internist to diagnose what was wrong with me. And then last Monday, I got a call during the stream, and I was like, I got to take this. And it was the hospital being like, hey, we can actually fit you in tomorrow. And I said, that sounds amazing. So last Tuesday, I went to the hospital and I met the internist, which is not an intern, okay? It's an internal medicine doctor. And she said, so tell me what the problem is. And I was like, oh, I've had diarrhea for 3 weeks, intermittent fever, stomach pain, and also both of my legs have a spreading red patch of itchiness on them that doubles in size every day, and I think might be indicative of my blood being infected. And she was like, okay, let me see your shins. And then I showed her my shins, and she was like, oh, we're going to like admit you to the hospital immediately today. And then took a couple stool samples, took some blood tests, took a CT scan. And then a few hours later, she was like, we're going to give you a prescription for antibiotics. I got 14 capsules of 500 milligrams ciprofloxacin. And I took them. And I took my last one this morning. And I'm feeling pretty good. I've been feeling good for like, basically since the second dose hit. I just have like a little bit of a cold now, but that's been going around. Yeah, I'm not dead. I know how this sounds dramatic. I honestly think that this would have killed me if I didn't get the antibiotics, but I don't think I would have been killed. Like, I'm not saying I would have been dead in a week, but I think if antibiotics didn't exist, I probably would have died in a month. So I got to start taking my probiotics now. I wonder how long the I almost died story is milkable. Well, I'll tell you, it's longer than 1 week, motherfucker. You ever hear anybody else tell a story? They'll tell a story about how they got like a free McChicken from McDonald's for like 10 years. Thing that pisses me off, I haven't even really had a chance to flex it at daycare, and it's awkward because like okay, like at daycare it's basically been like me and one other mom at pickup for like the last week because the other families have been on vacation or like their kids have been sick. So like I already told like the one mom that I almost died, but then it's just me and her for like a week. So now she's like, how are you? And I'm like, well, I'm okay, but I really wish that the other parents were here so I could be like, I'm okay. Hey, remember how I had food poisoning? Actually, I almost died from simultaneous salmonella and campylobacter. But now it's getting increasingly awkward, man. Cause like now I'm gonna be like, oh, I was so ready to be like, actually, I was in the hospital 2 days ago. Now I'm gonna be like, oh, actually, I was in the hospital 9 days ago. They're gonna be like, okay, that's ancient history. I can't like we're past like the statute of limitations for me to bring that up. It's pissing me off. Now I got to talk about the damn James Webb Telescope. How much is the healthcare? Well, like so my appointments were free at the hospital and the ER visit and stuff like that, and I'm grateful for that. But it is kind of fucked. I had to pay for my prescription 14 doses of a powerful antibiotic that saved my life, $18.75. Shit's actually unacceptable. Sounds about right. 7K for my ER visit. It's pretty fucked up. It is pretty insane. I paid $800 this past month just to confirm Cyrene didn't have cancer. Yeah, I mean, it's like the system is. Look, I complained a lot about the Canadian system. I think you can hold these two things in your head simultaneously. You could be like, there's room for improvement in the Canadian system, but also be thankful that I don't live in America. Like, because I've seen like the itemized receipt that you get when you get discharged from American hospitals, and it's like every bag of saline they give you is like $500. That doesn't seem sensible. And then you talk because our in-laws are not necessarily huge fans of the system to begin with, so I'm not saying they're complicit, but our in-laws are doctors, and I'm like, why the hell is it like, $7,500 a day to be admitted to the hospital and have a bed? And they're like, well, they charge it at that level because like if you have good insurance, insurance will actually pay, or they'll dispute it down, so you have to like charge double in order to actually get what you think it's worth in the first place. And you're like, okay, well, this seems pretty fucked up if you don't have insurance. That like, basically, and then there's like life hacks that are like, if you get billed by the hospital, don't pay, just send it to collections, and then like call the hospital collections department and be like, how are we going to work this out? Because I'm not going to pay this ridiculous bill that you sent me. So like, it just seems like you're already stressed to begin with, and then on top of that, to begin like a car negotiation to pay for life-saving care seems a little. I mean, it seems like you're getting piled on a little bit. I mean, we're like delaying the start of the show today, which is fine. The thing with the Canadian system is that I don't know. Is anybody out there like I feel like everybody loves the healthcare, like in Canada specifically, everybody loves the healthcare when they're not interfacing with it, and also right after they've interfaced with it. Like right now, I'm like, I love my doctor, I love my country. When I was actually trying to get care, I was like, this fucking sucks. But the thing you can say about the Canadian system is, at the very least, at least it's fair. Like if it sucks for everybody. So sometimes they talk about having like, and I don't know, maybe sucking for everybody is bad, but at least it's not like, well, it sucks for the average person, but if you're like insanely wealthy, it's amazing. At least you don't get like a leg up just based on your net worth. Although you could, I guess, just go to the US and get treated. But I mean, how are you going to stop that regardless? I suppose. Except when they hoard the antibiotics. Look, I wish that they were a little. I don't want them. Here's okay. You this is gonna be minus to me in advance. Okay. They should not give everybody antibiotics when they come into the hospital or the doctor or the urgent care and say, I have strep throat, can I please get antibiotics? But they should, I think after what I've been through, they should give me like a stamp on my BC Care card, which is like our health card, that says like, if this motherfucker comes in and asks for antibiotics, maybe just give him like 2 pills, follow up tomorrow to see how he feels, and then give him the rest of the dose or not the rest of the dose. Because I'm getting pretty fucking pissed off that just random chickens in Abbotsford are getting ciprofloxacin doses like every single day just to ensure that the Tyson poultry farms profits stay high. But when a human being wants to get some antibiotics, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, we're really worried about creating antibiotic resistant bacteria. No, we can't give you the antibiotics. Then maybe they wouldn't work for the chickens anymore that you're going to eat anyway. I'm not pro-disease. I'm just like, you know what okay, look, this is the easiest take of all time because nobody's going to dispute it. But like, if I was alive in the 90s. My perception is that you could go to the doctor and just be like, I have a sore throat. And they'd be like, here's some fucking amoxicillin. Here's some penicillin. Here's some ciprofloxacin, you know? Like back in the day, they were just, they had like the t-shirt cannon from sporting events. And they were just shooting antibiotics out there. And then they fucked it for everybody. They had like 30 years where they were just sending they were like, these are miracle drugs. And then, now, because everybody was freebasing amoxicillin in 1991, we can't get antibiotics anymore. It's like more restricted. They would happily give you like horse pills of Purdue Pharmaceuticals OxyContin. But if you want an antibiotic because you have an infection, they're like, oh, we're worried about superbacteria. Anyway, I agree that we should go back to like the Wild West when you had a sore throat, some apothecary went into the back room and used funnels to cook you up like some kind of custom tonic with a bunch of controlled substances in it and was like, here, take one of these and fuck off. Anyway, Jesse. All right, so we're going to do React Court today. I don't know what we're going to do after that, but we're going to do like, we're going to start with some React Court at least. Because I'm feeling good and I'm feeling up to it. Look, I'm not trying to say that I don't think that it's a real problem. Obviously, antibiotic resistance is a real problem. But I needed the antibiotics. So, like, just give them to me. I don't know how to say this without seeming insanely rude, okay? I'm not like a hypochondriac. I'm like the opposite. I'll be like, dude, like people will tell me for years in chat, people were like, you should really get your knee checked out at the hospital. And I'm like, well, it'll just, cavemen didn't have hospitals and they did okay. Then I try to go to I'm like, I have every symptom of bacterial infections. And they're like, well, a lot of people come in and cry wolf and they just recreationally want us to prescribe them with antibiotics. So we can't give you that until we've run 1,700 tests. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I guess I'll die in your room if that's cool. Sorry, I'm just figuring out what the heck is we use this for React Court? I don't know. They have to be sure, unfortunately. I know, but like, wouldn't it be nice if they had to be sure for everybody else, but they just trusted me? Yes, so true. That's what I'm saying, man. Okay, hold on, I'm getting my screen region done. Like, this is not the right screen region. I like unplugged the monitor. You don't care. I'm gonna fucking stop that story. What do you care? Okay, I'm gonna finish the story because I need to talk about it. But like, because I need to talk about something. But I unplugged the monitor and then like plugged it back in. And now, as a result of that, all of my old screen regions I used to use are screwed up. So I have to rebuild them from scratch, which is fine. It's fine. Don't do that. People are like, wait till you get C. diff, then you'll be sorry. It's the same people that were in my Twitter mentions. Hey, Egg, thinking of you. I had food poisoning for 3 days, so I know what it's like. I'm like, fuck you. You have no idea what it was like. Did you go to the hospital? No, you just sat on your couch for 2 days, and then you went fucking back to work. I went to the hospital 3 times, dude. You do not know what it was. Some people know what it's like. You don't know what it's like. Then people were like, wait till you get C. diff, then you'll be sorry. Sorry about what? That I took life-saving antibiotics to not die, and then I got C. diff? I guess I'll just die so I don't get C. diff. Got a lot. The fucked up thing is, based on the care that I received at the ER, you're probably a fucking doctor, okay? So I'm sorry that it hurts to hear criticism instead of just thank you, doctor. Thank you, doctor. I'm just giving you a patient user story. You can choose whether or not to take that information and adjust your behavior. Or you can just be like, well, I went to school for 27 years, so I don't have to listen to anybody but myself. It's up to you. Okay, React Court real, really real this time. You need to be on the other monitor. That's the one. You get C. diff. When you get C. diff, you'll be sorry you didn't let yourself get killed by Salmonella and Campylobacter. These motherfuckers are like gatekeeping bacterial infections. This is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Are you listening to yourself? I almost died. I need a doctor's note. Do you think the doctor would be mad if I called and said, can you give me a note that says I almost died? So I can like, I would open that shit in a heartbeat. I still haven't opened my 1,000,000 sub play button. I would open that shit the second I receive. I would cancel the stream to open it. (1-800) how's my driving? Don't call me. I almost died. Okay, now I'm just going to click the lock button on this, and I think we're good to go. Okay. /marker React Court.